While floods ravage parts of Nigeria continue to struggle under the yoke of the disaster, the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Abuja, is also feeling the impacts. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has blamed the current petrol scarcity in Abuja and other states in the north on flooding in Lokoja, Kogi State. According to a statement signed by the agency, the flood submerged major parts of Lokoja and grounded vehicular movement, which has affected distribution of petroleum products to the FCT and its environs. We said it in the course of our first discussion, and we thought something would have been done by now, or government would have swung into action so that those trailers would have, going through alternative routes. But a lot of people say, more than before now, that the roads are just terrible. All the alternative routes you have. That if you are going from Lagos to Ado-Ekiti now, somebody was saying the routes you have to go and, to pass, you can't just go straight. Now, just imagine if you have to pass an alternative route from Lokoja, where else do you pass to get to Abuja and connecting other parts of the country?
It depends on where you are going. We know that the tank farms are here in Lagos. It is in Lagos here that they all lift petroleum products. In the past, you could move from here to Ilorin, from Ilorin, Kainji, Jeba, get into Mokwa, then from Mokwa, Tegina, Brinengwari, and then Kaduna. Then from Kaduna, you can go to Abuja. But if you try it...
Long journey.
Is it long journey? It's not long journey. It's bandits now. Do you want to pass through Brinengwari as we speak? Even in your most drunken state, you will pass through Brinengwari. How are you going to do that? So that's the main reason. I think Professor Lauda was even complaining that even road project in that area, they had to stop. Well, Brinengwari is one of the headquarters of banditry in our country. So that whole area, Rafi local government in Niger, where you have Tegina, where we used to eat in those days. That's like the middle part of our journey. Whether you are going to Kano or going to Kaduna, you get to Tegina. There was a Yoruba man who had a restaurant by the side of the road. Everybody likes stopping there. That Tegina, Rafi local government, bandits are all over the area. The school, Kagara, where you see Kagara too, after Tegina, is Kagara. Kagara was where they kidnapped those school children. Tegina was where they went, like the beasts that they are. They went to a Quranic school, kidnapped children as young as 5 years. Some died in their hands. So insecurity prompted truckers as well as luxury bus drivers to be using Ondo State. So they will pass through Ondo State, and then, I say Ondo State, Ekiti, pass through Osun, then pass over Ekiti, then link Abuja, and then go. Some of them pass through my village, and then get to Lokoja. But when you get to all of those areas are dry. But from Lokoja, then you have to move. Abuja you are going. You have to move, pass through Kotonkarfi. Kotonkarfi, the Niger River has overflown its banks. The water has spilled onto the road. That is the main place where they are facing problem. And there was a time that it looked dry, but I guess they've had some rainfall again. We are back to school. And this is a natural problem. I don't see how government, beyond getting people to use alternative route, but even you, if they suggest it to you to use an alternative route and it's not safe, you are not going to listen to anybody who brings that kind of counsel. That is the main reason. The central nature of Lokoja has made it worse. Wherever you are going, Lokoja is the access to many states, at not less than 10 states in our country. So there's no way that it won't affect
petrol.
Yes.
We don't think ahead. We don't plan ahead. And that's why Lagos can just be the only hub that these truckers can get fuel and go and drop as far as the north. If this thing were to be decentralized across the country now, it would have been a different story.
And apart from that, if the means of transportation, usually this kind of products shouldn't be transported by road, because they also contribute to the road, the condition of our roads. Yes, usually we should have rail lines that transport heavy trucks like this, but we don't have it, which is a product of lack of planning. And you imagine that for over 60 years of independence, we've not been able to put this in place. Even the ones we had before independence, they are no longer working. You see, before, do you know about Akran Road, where Guinness is? You know there is a rail, rail line that passed through that place. And it was deliberate for manufacturing all this. And you know that axis is also an industrial hub. You see, it was deliberately planned so that products can get to these manufacturing places, and the products can be transported to other places. But now,
if the truckers, if this is what they're going to pass through.
Now, and aside this also, we must have been warned. This thing won't just happen. We have weather reports. We know what Nigeria, the world we are in now is not where we were 20, 25 years ago, where you cannot predict. In fact, they will tell you the water levels, the rain that is likely to fall. How do these other countries predict all these, their hurricane, Catherine hurricane, whatever, that they will even tell you the exact time that it's going to happen, the exact places it is going to take place, and all of that. Here, we are just nonchalant. Let me put it that way. Look at houses. Do you know the implication of this? All these buildings are gone. No. They are gone, even after the rains.
The
integrity is already compromised. So, and we are talking about hundreds of thousands of people. Imagine this one now. So it's if we had planned better, I don't think. Of course, it's a natural occurrence, but I think we could have controlled the impact.
The guest house.
The impact.
Wisdom guest house. Submerged totally.
Imagine a main road like this.
This is a main road.
A main road.
We were even told that in a state like Bayelsa, that's even
corpses. Corpses were exhumed and they are floating on the river.
Littered all over the place. Because it has gone down.
There are cases probably worse than
that. Yes, and that can lead to an epidemic.
Seriously.
All these cars are gone.
So it's terrible if people can't use, Kogi, some of the states bordering the southeast, they are also badly affected. So how do people move? Ajaokuta is a link to the southeast, for example. You are going to the southeast. Ajaokuta is the link. From Ajaokuta, you get to Aingba. But
Anambra.
All of those local governments are submerged. So it's a big problem. And until this thing eases off, that scarcity will remain, because I don't see people resorting to the use of roads that are bad, because it's so easy for trailers to fall over when the roads are bad. It takes just a mistake. You put one leg
when you can't see.
Not to talk of
even if
when you realize that there is insecurity.
It will even affect the speed, the roads, the bad roads.
I
read about one driver that said he slaughtered 10 cows. Yes, on that road.
When they stay too long. They don't feed them. When they bring them like that, there are so many. They are left hungry. Some of them, as a result of
distress,
the sun,
the
vagaries of the sun, and the fact that they are not fed for some time. These guys are saying that it's taking them 8 days to move between Kotonkarufi and
So there's no how they won't lose their livestock.
Very short distance. So there's no way that some of them won't die. By the time they get to their destination, they are very, very weak. So what they just do is they just quickly slaughter them. Because in that state, they can hardly get up, they can't last. So they just quickly slaughter them. So people are recording losses, different types of losses, as a result of this.
This will halt all activities.
Yeah.
Of course.
Not only traders will not be able to
I just showed you
all economic activities,
the joint now.
The guest house, have
Yes.
No, no patronage. Now,
No, I will go there. You and the person that you are taking there, you'll be drowned.
Wow.
So nothing like going to any abete located in the heart of Lokoja now. They'll be facing terrible times because who will see? You saw it, they just showed it now. Because who will go there?
Using canoe.
People are in
It's
trouble.
major road. Yeah,
Yes.
you wouldn't,
Look at the current. Look at the way the water
on
is
the
moving.
expressway.
You know,
Wow.
it's moving with ferocity. You know, as if we are looking at
Look at cars.
tidal waves.
Water would have, destroyed the engines.
No, these cars are
No,
gone.
those cars are gone.
They are gone.
Those houses too.
They are
It's only a matter of time before they give way. Those houses.